lost when I feel like nothing. Always feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, and I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw you coming. You were so wild, both know I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed. You know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Well, hello world. How is everyone doing? I hope you are well. Today is the last day of February 28th, 2022, 1:14 p.m. on the Eastern Time of the United States. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. It's going to be a rather short live because of two reasons. One reason is the Murdaugh is on lunch. The trial is on lunch. And second of all, I have to pick up my kids in a little bit. So anyway, while y'all are coming in, please hit up that like button. I don't know if there'll be a lot in here at this time, but thank you, Replay Crew, for joining us later. Appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up button, Replay Crew, if you don't mind. So we're going to talk about the Murdaughs, and we're going to try to cover some Summer Wells. May or may not get to it, but I was doing some research into the history of Alec Murdaugh and his family. Oh, hold on. That's not it. So I didn't want to, I put it in a video form. Let me re-download this. 2 seconds, guys. I apologize. And some interesting things that I have learned regarding Alec Murdaugh and his family. A lot of people want to know where the money is. This man has stolen millions of dollars from his clients, from his law firm, and God knows, in my opinion, who else. And everybody's like, where's the money? And we're all asking that. You get upset if you miss my live. Well, that's very sweet of you, Pat. I appreciate it. You know what? You can always replay. So, all right. So let's get to it, guys. Let's pop this up. So this is Randolph Murdaugh Sr. He was a Solicitor General in 1920 to 1940. 1920 to 1940. And this is where, where the Murdaugh name really got the influence. This is where, this is the founder of this empire that became the dynasty that it is today. Now, the dynasty, you could say it may not withstand the test of time due to Alec, but it's probably going to crumble after this. Now, July 19th, 1940, uh, Mr. Murdaugh, he died in an unusual way, coming late home one night from a poker game. So this is where I want you to, the gambling, things are generally passed off in family, members from generation to generation, particularly people who have a lot of people who have a lot of money gamble, and people who don't have enough, they think they're going to make it big or make it bigger. And he dies in a crash. This is a crash. He's coming, I spelled poker wrong, sorry. But he died in a poker crash. He died in a car slash train crash. Now, hold on. He was coming home late one night. He was parked right across the railroad tracks, and the man never moved. So there was a lot of unusual circumstances around this situation of, what happened to this man. Uh, Buster loves to gamble, says Diane. Interesting. Well, we're going to get to some of that for sure. So yeah, he he never tries to move his car. Was he passed out? Did he have a heart attack? Who knows? This was 1940. Most of us in this chat probably, was not alive in 1940, right? So, and this is Murdaugh's. Didn't download right. Oh no. Hold on. What? Something happened. Okay. So here you have, we'll make do with what we got. Here we have Alec Murdaugh, and here we have Cousin Eddie. And this guy, his last name is Spencer. Spencer Roberts. Spencer Roberts. And all three of these men are connected in one way or another. So we'll talk about that shortly. But there is, I think, a lot of what we know is that there's definitely a link. But I wanted to go back here to another Murdaugh. This is Mr. What is he? He's not the senior, but I don't know what they call him. Anyway, he was solicitor general for many years as well. I don't have my notes because it's not downloading right. But he was, and he was kind of if I scratch your back, you can scratch mine. He had they made slot machines illegal in South Carolina because it literally took down like a governor. They kind of, I guess, laundered money, and it literally took down a governor. And then after that, the politicians had none of it. They wanted none of it unless it could benefit them, not take them out, right? So what happened is there was, when people who knew the politician or knew Mr. Murdaugh here, they would, like, as soon as they would get their slot machines, it had to be deemed as legal or illegal. And as soon as the slot machine would come in, they would get this convenient phone call at the police station saying, somebody's there, they're unloading slot machines right now, you need to go there. Well, it was a convenient call because after that, Mr. Murdaugh and a judge, they would have to say this is legal or it's not legal. That way, the lottery or whoever agency didn't have to get involved. And it was a way for people to get, it's a certain game that they play, and I don't have my damn note, I'm sorry. But he would always vote yes for certain people and not others, more or less, is what I'm trying to say. So, all right, on this is Eddie. We know Eddie. This is the guy that helped uh allegedly try to kill Alec. And on August 11th, 2022, Eddie's bond was revoked. Maybe I downloaded the wrong one. Give me a second. This is annoying me. Okay. But anyway, on August 11th, 2022, Eddie's bond was revoked. He was sent to jail. He was sent to jail. Now, we got to remember that Eddie is the man who Alec would write very large sums of money to. Very large sums of money. And it was often weekly, nearly weekly. And after Eddie's bond was revoked, he was violating his parole. The next person on the docket that day, conveniently, for whatever reason, seen by the same judge, was Curtis Eddie Smith. He had a court hearing. Or, sorry, that Curtis Eddie Smith is cousin Eddie. This guy right here, his name is Spencer Roberts. And Spencer Roberts was seen by, like I said, the same judge and all of that. Now, he was being seen by the same judge, and he was in there for drugs, right? And he was also in there for having a illegal gambling room, like in his, I think it was in his house, really. Yeah, that right there. I can't say that. Can't say that, but I can't say that. You can write that. Hello, House of Williams. Good to see you, dear. And same judge and all that. And it was later found out that Curtis was getting money from Alec Murdaugh through the hands of Eddie. So Alec would pay this guy, cousin Eddie, and give Spencer the money. Would give Spencer the money. Now, we do know that obviously this was for drugs, and I would bet to say gambling, because Alec, in a video, in a call that was played recently, of the jailhouse call of Murdaugh, he is talking to Buster, and he is literally gambling in jail. It was for beef sticks and stuff, but it was for a game and all of that. And, somebody, you know, Alec is an addict. So he was, in my opinion, he was probably a gambler too, because of the history of the family. 50,000 a week for his personal use? No way. Exactly. It wasn't. It was not. Now we got to remember that Alec also has a private plane, a pilot, and a landing strip at his house. Now Buster, no, I don't know. Maybe it was Paul. He said it was used for strippers and drugs. So yeah, there's no way he could have done it. Now, Mr. Waters, who is prosecuting Alec Murdaugh, obviously we know that, currently said that Spencer Roberts was arrested when a search warrant was being taken place at his residence. The search warrant uncovered a gambling den, GUNS, and DRUGS. Now, what does all three of those and Alec Murdaugh have in common? Well, Alec has all three. And we know for a fact that Alec has transferred money to Cousin Eddie, and Cousin Eddie and Spencer, this guy right here, have business together themselves. So Alec, he was just he gave the money, and I guess Eddie was his gopher. So DA Waters, Curtis received money from Alex through Eddie Smith, and this comes from DA Waters. So DA says that Alex gave Eddie money so that this guy could be paid by Alec. So they definitely had some sort of connection. Definitely. Could this have been the birth of Alex borrowing money to win his next big fortune, or to get him out of debt, creating more addiction through gambling and DRUGS? That is the question. Now, Alec himself on the stand said, "I have been through many financial hardships." And you think of someone like, this is the question: was he living outside of his lifestyle? The 1,800 acres that he got with the house and everything, it was pretty much given to him, right? So he has the other properties. Yeah, it does go hand in hand. It definitely does. And why was he needing all of this money? He is stealing it from his family members, his law firm, his clients, quadriplegics. I mean, if that doesn't have, if that doesn't give you a heart, then I don't know what would. Why was all of this? Was I drunk when I did this or something? Why was all this money being transferred from Alex to Eddie and Curtis Smith? Something's not working. Now, we got to remember the biggest attorney. This is very interesting. The biggest attorney for video poker in South Carolina back in the day was Dick Harpootlian, who currently represents Alec Murdaugh and once his now dead son Paul in the boating accident. He also represented Paul Murdaugh. And here is an article. Former Fifth Circuit solicitor Dick Harpootlian represents several video gambling companies. So it kind of makes you, who else would also, Mr. Harpootlian is a senator. Isn't he a senator, or He's a representative of something. I think he's senator. But this man, Dick has been in what's the word I'm looking for? He's been enmeshed in the video gambling, all of this. They are all meshed. Who better could represent Alec Murdaugh than Dick Harpootlian? They have definitely rubbed shoulders. They're both attorneys. Dick he's an older guy, and he represented all of these video machine companies back in the day. Really? Yeah. Yeah. Did Alex have help with the unalivings? Days before the unalivings, I can't say the M word, Alex wrote Eddie a series of checks, one being the largest he has ever written in history of writing Eddie checks. We know Alex wrote these checks to Eddie as a means to drugs and most likely gambling debt. So on May 28th, 2021, largest check to Eddie. Now, get this. June 7th, 2021, the unalivings of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh. The check was written 10 days before. Hello, Flo. Good to see you, honey. Hey, Nani. It really makes you think. I mean, I personally think Alec most likely did it alone. But if he did not do it alone, in my opinion, Eddie was involved. Now, the question is, there was two GUNS that was used. Was that to just throw someone off, or was there two people there? My new doctor was awesome, so waited for a new outlook. Oh, good. The question, why was the check that was a substantial amount larger than normal written just 10 days before the unalivings? Was it a help for a hit, or was it for drugs or gambling debt? That is the question. That is the question. So when I find my thing, we'll dig a little bit deeper into it. Let me find something. And this is the thing. Alec had, excuse me, Alec had normally said that he was not at those kennels, and we learn on the stand, which, in my opinion, Alec should be charged with lying previous, because I mean, the defense could have reworked their entire prosecution of him. And was that a way, to, I think it was very unethical of Alex, and if he told his attorney that as well, but who is, Alex Murdaugh, and ethical doesn't really go in, together. I want to show you guys something on Fitz News here. So I am a paid subscriber to Fitz News, and let me show you something. People don't seem to like Dick. Oh, she's got on Twitter. So one of the reporters, she writes notes about, and jury hates Dick Harpoolian. That's a good sign, in my opinion. If the reporter wrote that. I can't really read her writing, to be honest, him or her writing. But jury hates Dick Harpoolian. I Dick say I forgave him. There's a lot of emotion. That's all I can read. So, I just thought that was kind of an interesting little tidbit there. I wanted to show you a couple more things on FitSnood. They had some video. This is some Moselle drone footage. Now, I have to pause it every 30 seconds just to be safe. We're using this under the Fair Use Act of 1976 for commentary purposes only, and also I'm a paid subscriber. So, to FitSnooze. So you can tell that it's a far way off from the house. I mean, I wouldn't walk that far to my building. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'd drive. But yeah, especially now, Zen. So it's definitely a far way off. This is under the thing where they found the footsteps that they were it's like you could see walking one way and then turning around and walking another. And then this over here is where Paul was found. No, sorry. Over here was where the footsteps were found. Over here. Maggie was found out here. I apologize. But you think, Alec, why did you look at all the trees that are planted? I mean, that is insane. I mean, look how far the house is there. That's a long ways. Why such big open areas? That's wasting a lot of land. How fertile is the soil? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think they should have put something there. Yeah, my opinion too. But but they were talking about the hogs and stuff. Would the hogs eat that kind of stuff? I don't know. I was surprised earlier when he said that the guy said that what was it? He killed over 1,000 hogs. I was like, my God, how many is there? And it's going to take more than a few seconds to run up through here, see Maggie over here, get out of your car and then see your son right here, check their pulse, and then call the police. It's just going to. It is a beautiful area. But you could hear a gun from easily there, Justin. You know where I live. Gunshot. Yes. He was there. That's why he did. Yeah. Hogs are probably one of the worst creatures to have in your land. I think hogs are one of the worst creatures ever, to be quite honest with you. To me, they're very nasty. Their entrance to Moselle. But I really recommend a subscription to Fitz News if you're really invested in this case. It's really good. They have a lot. For instance, look here. They have. Well, they had earlier. Had someone like talking outside. So based upon the information now, I've already voted in this poll. But do you believe Alex is guilty or not guilty of the murder of Maggie Murdaugh? And the red right here is the majority. The blue, 7%. Okay, 87% says guilty. 7% says not guilty. 4% says unsure. All right. Now, the next one is Paul Murdaugh. And it's 88% guilty, 7% not guilty, 3% unsure. And then here's the hogs that they were talking about earlier. Do you have good bacon on? Do they have good bacon on them? I don't know. I don't eat pork bacon. Ugh. I've learned I have learned one thing from the Murdaugh trial. It's that there's a ton of wild hogs in South Carolina, right? But they give you a lot of stuff. Harpoolian repeated ejections made me think of the final second of the baseball game when your team is down and you start fouling in order to interrupt the leading team's momentum. It's a smart strategy. Will State make it? Yeah, free for theirs. Waters asked Crosby if he ever had a conversation with Murdaugh about Barrett needing Crosby. I need to look at this earlier in a little bit. But yeah, okay. Now we're going to talk about Summer Wells because I'm running out of time. So I know a lot of people there's been a divide recently in Summer Wells thing, and it's really more about, in my opinion, it's more if you support Don and Candace versus you don't support Don and Candace. And I will be the first to tell you that for me, regardless of whether they did this or not, I don't think that they are necessarily good people. And the reason I say that is because of all of the children that they have had and that they do not and have not ever taken care of. They have had multiple children from multiple different states at different points in time in their life, and they have never, ever got any of their children back. Now, that is not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that these children have been taken away multiple times by multiple different states, and they still have not gotten their children back. Why? Because they didn't follow proper procedure in order to get the children back. Now, I'm going to have hopefully a CPS worker on interviewing If she can't do it, her boss won't let her, then I have a retired CPS worker that can do it. So, hey, Camille, how are you, honey? Are you back home? Hope you're okay. And that is my thought on it. So, I know that there's, people's like, oh, well, if you meet Don, it'll change your mind. And I assure you that it won't. Even, people's like, well, he's so nice when you actually meet him in person. I don't care if he's nice to me. I'm a complete stranger to Don. What the thing that they needed to be nice about was their children, taking care of their children properly. That just doesn't happen. Multiple states, different times, all taken away, and never attempted to get them back or followed the proper procedures in order to get them back. It's that simple. It's really that simple. I wouldn't meet him for $1 million. Yeah, it's pointless now, because they literally said that. Well, let me play it. I got it here. I think I do, at least. Hold on. Let me pull up these screen recording here. I want to show you guys what Candace said the other day. And let me know what you think if a mother, to me, they think this is a game. They literally think this is a game to them. I haven't covered. All right. So the other day, Candace was on the Cow Ladies channel, and she talked a little bit, and we're going to play it using this under the Fair Use Act of 1976. Guys, please drop Daisy her link, Cow Lady. This is Candace talking here, and she said that they have never really told the entire story on YouTube. Now, you can take this of one of two ways, in my opinion. One way is she's either lying when she says this right here, or she's been lying to us for the last 2 years about everything. And therefore, in my opinion, we cannot trust her. Summer wells in months. Let me know if it echoes, okay? You still have nothing to do with Tiffany. Hold on. Grease. All right, Grease. There you go, sister. That's my Candace. Okay, hold on 1 second. You still have nothing to do with Tiffany. Sorry, Candace. Go ahead. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. Okay. How about we all stop talking about Rosie, and let's all stop fighting, and let's all just get along and start trying to be able to find Summer, instead of everybody picking at each other and yakking at each other and hollering at each other like PG does. This is bullshit. I'm tired of all the fighting. Let's just find Summer. Yeah, that would be nice, but you're not willing to tell anybody the truth. You said it. Well, you said you're not willing to tell anybody the story. So we'll get to that. But before that, I need to make a preference to what is going to happen. Apparently, another creator was talking about Rose which Rose is obviously Candace's sister, Grandis's daughter. She went missing, I think, in 2009, and she has been missing ever since. She has been declared dead legally. Now, several months ago, Mrs. Daisy, the person on this channel, she said that Rose was alive. Rose is alive, y'all. Rose is alive. And that's what she said. And I contacted the person she was saying Rose, and it was a distant relative. And, you know, Rose is missing, but Rose has a husband, had a husband, and 2 children that she had when she was missing. And it just kind of broke my heart that they would, you know, that they would ever see something like that. Oh God, I hope not. Daisy also said, if you're not making money on YouTube, what's the point? She's wow.
Yeah, I agree. There you go, sister. That's my Candace. That's
and leave my sister Rosie out of it because she has nothing to do with this. It's upsetting my mom.
Now, in the background here, you're going to hear Grandis cuss like a sailor. Now, remember, Grandis, they said Grandis was not up on the hill. She was up on the hill.
So bad, I can't even. It's out of control. It's ridiculous. It's bullshit.
Absolutely. It is.
Yeah. And we talked again. That 911 call was not in the documentary for any reason of what.
Mom, calm down, please. I'm like, they go like me. Calm down, please. Mom, calm down, please.
Listen, Candace, tell your mom nobody has said anything wrong about.
She's really up to a prayer garden and all her lies and crap like that. I'm a daughter. That's what she's mainly upset about.
That's when I was upset back then, Daisy, so that you understand.
It's not you guys.
That's why.
Prayer garden.
The thing is, I've never said anything bad. I had a woman come on my panel or tell another woman a recording. I still have that recording saying that her daughter is still alive.
And you ran with it, Daisy. You literally ran that she was alive. You said, Rose is alive, y'all. Rose is alive. And she's saying she never said anything bad.
Right. I've never said that. She even claims that she talks to Rose on a daily basis. This woman did.
And I mean, she was crazy. She doesn't. That was awful. That's why I got upset. It's not for me to get upset, but I did. That's all.
I've never said anything bad about Rose ever.
But that's sensitive.
Bull butter.
For Candace error.
The thing, yeah, it is. But the thing
and that's
is,
why I was mad back then, and you took it as an attack.
I have no problem with Jason, and I have no problem with Daisy and Curtis on the farm.
Okay, I appreciate it.
If Fairgarden has a problem with that because I have love for Jason and I have love for you all, then that's Fairgarden's problem.
Well, you tell Grandma we're sorry about her getting upset, and I don't mean for her to get upset over her daughter.
She can hear y'all. Yeah.
Grandma, we love you.
And they love you, Mom. She goes on there and lies about our family when she don't really even know our family.
I know. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you all to get attacked or anything.
Does any of us know 100% that Don and Candace did this? 100% no, we don't. We don't. And that's a given. None of us know 100% chance. But in my opinion, given the history of DRUGS and the multiple children taken away in multiple states at different times in their life, and that they never got them back because they never tried, apparently, then how, first of all, whenever usually something happens to a child, it's normally the parents to begin with. Then you add on top of it, in my opinion, the location of where it happened and the history that they have with children to begin with. Like, to me, it's not really rocket science. But can I say that Don and Candace are guilty? No. But for me, it's not to say that they are necessarily guilty or innocent. I just don't think that they are good people, regardless of whether they're guilty or innocent. That's what I'm saying. And people's like, well, if you talk to him, you'll learn Donnie's a good guy. No, he's not. You're a good person. Don't worry about YouTubers being, thinking he's a good guy or he's a bad guy or anything like that. It's about your kids, keeping your children safe, protected, happy, healthy, secure. And both of them failed. That's not debatable. Oh, well, they took her, they took them all kinds of places. So that doesn't make them a good parent just because you take them places. And in my opinion, Candace, God bless her, she doesn't have much of, she's not much brighter than a teenager. And it was probably just as much for her entertainment as it was the kids, to be quite honest with you. So if that's my thing. Regardless, you can believe whatever, and think whatever you want of Don and Candace. Anybody can. But for me, I'm saying that regardless of whether they did this or not, my opinion is that they did have something to do with it. That's my opinion. You're allowed to have yours equally. But based upon what we know statistically, that it's usually the parents, and then not statistically, that they have lost their children multiple times, multiple different states, and then the DRUGS that is all over, their lives, the sex and everything else that they're running around doing and all of this, there was no stability in there. Cops were called all the time because of DV.
I didn't even mean for any of this to happen. I just was calling Tiffany out for her thing, and then it just kind of went out of. But I'm glad that you finally come up here and got to show people that you are about finding.
Hey, Ricky, I would love to have you up right now, but I actually have to go shortly. I have to go pick up my kids, and then we have to go to piano. So, but after that, I will be live later this evening, and I would love to have you up for sure. Absolutely.
Summer, and your mom is about finding Summer. And that's what we're here for, is to support you guys, not to attack you.
No, I know.
We are getting attacked.
I don't know, like I was saying in chat, you know, like, she thinks she runs everybody.
My thing is,
about Summer and Rosie and all that, when she don't know anything.
Right. Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of channels go change their minds, be crazy, say horrible things about Summer, put SA on her name, all of this stuff. And over the 2 years, it's made me insane. And I have said things that come off harsh because she doesn't have anybody protecting her. So if the times I've come at you, it's been because of those things, then that, it's because she's a baby. And it bothers me. It makes me crazy.
Me and you thought.
Yeah, and like Chasing is saying there, a lot of people has just flat out said that Dawn has done something SA'd Summer, and I don't think that's fair, truthfully. I think what I do think, I think, he has a bunch of things on him when he was younger. And there's some odd things around it, but we don't know 100%, that anything was ever,
Candace, sweetheart.
that he ever done anything. There's no evidence that says he did that.
We went through it and we've discussed it.
I want to get to the part of where she says,
that's just as much as I do, Casey.
Yep. So you all are seeing the Candace that we see, the kind that I've been fighting for, the one that wants her baby found. I've been telling you guys all along, she loves her kids. She loves her babies, and she wants her babies back. And she don't.
This is the other thing. Why weren't the other kids fought for? These are living, breathing children, and it literally breaks my heart that nobody, or that their parents didn't fight for them. Why? I mean, you're supposed to walk through hell for your kids and be the ones that protects them and make sure they're okay. It's no longer about you when you have kids. It's over for you. It is all about your kids then. I mean, how many chances do you get? It's been multiple times. CPS workers, these are individuals, though they're not always right. We've seen it. I don't dispute that. But sometimes, as my friend says, they are bound by laws that they may not agree with personally, but they have to follow through with because that is the law. And yes, there are clearly some errors in the system, but these are people who go to college and study these type of things, and you can't tell me that multiple agencies, different times, different states, but the same family, same people concluded the exact same thing over and over. I agree, Robin. I agree. I mean, I know of things from the past of, you know, Candace that I've talked to regarding her other children. I won't say it on here, but I've seen and she's just really bad. Really bad. In my opinion, probably the boys and Summer was treated much better than her previous children.
I mean, if nobody else can see that, then, I mean, all I can say is that's their fault, not mine.
Right, right.
And I'm tired of this fighting on YouTube and all this crap. This is bullshit, man. Why can't we just all get together and put together the effort to find them instead of fighting them?
Amen. I agree.
That's a simple statement, but it doesn't, you know, it's easy to say. It's so easy. Why can't we just all get together and you know, and to find Summer? Yeah, that would be great. But it sadly doesn't work that way, because, you know, if you disagree with, you know, you ask the parents a hard question. Well, I mean, Candace, she doesn't even interview for anybody. This is a rarity. She completely shut down, particularly after the Dr. Phil. And you know, Don, yeah, he'll just cuss you and call you names.
I think it's because a lot of us we've become so attached to Summer. She's not our daughter. She's Candace's and Dawn's.
She's
But we
Candace's
forget,
and
you know,
Dawn's.
we will later discover Summer.
Let me find it.
What
I
they
mean, I got
what they
people
covered.
texting me right now. Get off with Judge and the lawyer and all that for being online. But you know what? That's okay. Because you know what? I'm standing up for Summer and Summer only.
Amen. Amen. See you all.
I mean, I've never heard a mother say, I have to put Summer aside and focus on the boys now.
Together.
I'm trying to find it.
I'm
I gotta
willing
go
to.
soon.
I am. Right, right. I have
You don't know how I feel. You don't know what I go through every day. I mean, not saying Daisy and Jason and all y'all, but I'm saying
a lot of people don't see you crying like we see you crying, Candace. We see you cry. Yeah, but you gotta cry, Candace. Grieve. You have to have that grieving time, Candace.
Because I don't know. Yeah. And I wish the fucking God I did.
Yeah.
Not cussing at God, but I wish I knew what the hell happened. I go through that every day. And you know what? Nobody knows.
Okay. We'll go. I'm gonna come back live in a little bit, and I'll find all of that, and we'll go over the rest of this interview. But she says that the only person she's told the entirety of the day to was TBI and I guess Hawkins County, and she's not going to tell anybody else. And I mean, fair, okay, that's fine. But if she's just now telling us that after 2 years, why? A lot to talk about. Yeah, I agree. It's easy to say, oh, Don and Candace are such nice people. They're so friendly when you meet them. Yeah, I mean, if you're, you know, kissing their hoo-ha, I'm sure that they are. But, you know, as creators, I mean, I'm not here to, make friends with Don and Candace or anything. We're here to tell a story, and that's it. She can focus on her boy and look for her daughter at the same time, but she isn't doing either of these things. Absolutely. She's not. She's not. She's not. You look at, for instance, Michael Vaughn. Brandy called and still calls the detectives every day. You asked Dawn, Candace, Grandis, when's the last time you've talked to a detective? Well, they got my number. Like they're not even bothered. I'm not even bothered. I'm not going to call. So you haven't called. You wait for a call. They got my number. Lawson said family was not cooperating and recently said they are still suspects. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this is another thing. Don says they've knocked his door down 8 or 10 times. Tell me, please tell me, have they knocked, and I'm not saying, I mean, everyone's a suspect, but if that is true, why have they knocked your door down 8 or 10 times? And we haven't heard of anybody else on Ben Hill Road that their door has been knocked down even one time. And tell me after 2 years that why they can't clear you. Because I can tell you that if Don, which to be honest with you, I have never heard an official statement from Don's employer that he was legitimately there between this time and that time, on June 16th. I've not heard of it. 15th. And just haven't heard it. And if that were so, wouldn't you think they could conclude that Don had nothing to do with it? He is eliminated. You would think, well, if Don was at work, I'm sure that they have cameras because people get their tools stolen and everything. There's Ring doorbells everywhere because he usually works in developments that have other houses there. People are living there. They're building new houses, Ring doorbells, everything, stoplights, everything, right? Why can't you say, well, yeah, Don is cleared. He was at work. That is another point. I think Don fired Dudley the day before, so Dudley couldn't verify whether Don was at work or at work the next day. Absolutely. That is exactly right. So it's not just one thing. It is a series of instances and behavior from the past based upon their kids and their criminal history, drug history, everything else, and the things that we have seen post Summer going missing. They think it's a game. They think it's a game. Yeah, we would have heard that by now. It would be, Don should be the first the parent that they should be able to clear if he was there between those times. If his phone was there and it was pinging at that house, and they got him on camera, Ring doorbell, something. Cameras are put up because of construction all the time, so nothing is stolen and all that. So, yeah. All right, guys, I got to go. Got to pick up my kids for piano. Love you all. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys later this evening. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. We'll talk more about this later. Love you all.